Hello, hey guys, it's Dami here from Clientele Boosters. Welcome, CB family. And today we're going to be getting into something really exciting. It's going to be a long one. You see, I'm going to give you a bit of context about myself, who I am, where I came from, and why you should listen to me. And then how and why I've stumbled upon the fortune in which is mega communities. Now, this is not going to be the stereotypical video sales letter. I don't have a ton of PowerPoint slides to show you. I just have facts, data, and examples. Very simple. But of course, we must begin with a bit of social proof. So I'm going to go ahead and type up my name in Google. So I've been in the marketing industry since I was 19 years old. You see, I'm 23 now, knocking on 24 next year. It'll be my fifth year in marketing and sales and leadership next year. I've learned a lot. This was me when I was 20, and I was getting a bit of momentum just before COVID. So this is March 2020, and my business was growing really quickly. I was just about, to personally have a milestone financially for my agency, and we lost 80% of our clients as a result of COVID. COVID, you know, dropped about 80% of our clients, 80% of our revenue. People were shutting down. It was an interesting time to be alive. Learned a lot about myself and where I was deficient as a marketer and as a business person in terms of managing teams as well. And it was a great learning curve. So what did I do? I went into corporate. I started working for a variety of marketing agencies, SEO specialist companies. I was also a BDM for an agency in Sydney remotely. On top of that, I also used to work for one of the biggest tech startups of all time. Now, it's not Slack, it's called Podium. So, Podium is one of the world's fastest growing tech companies of all time. And I worked as an SDR there. So, I was a sales development representative there. And I was responsible for tackling the automotive sector. So, I would actually set appointments for account executives to close. And I would cold call like a Mazda or a Toyota or an old used car dealer or a new car dealer or, people of that sort. And I would set appointments for account executives, and I was half decent at it. Didn't always kill it. Sometimes I killed it. It was a great learning experience. Shortly after my time at Podium, I started to focus my energy on my agency again. This is, early 2021 or 2021, leaning into 2022. And last year, I was just tearing it up from a marketing perspective, quite frankly. We were working with politicians like Heather Marcus, who was the ex-mayor of Werribee. So, we would manage her accounts. We actually got her reelected on the council in 2020. In 2020, I worked with celebrities like Adekunle Gold, and I'm going to show you a case study regarding that shortly. But we worked on his campaign and his Australian tour last year, and we were able to get him some pretty amazing results using, again, the concept that is mega communities. My bad on that one, guys. Had a brief tech issue. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So yeah, we even helped the likes of celebrities such as Adekunle Gold. And we used again the concept of mega communities, which ended up selling over $120,000 in ticket sales in less than 7 weeks. So I've got a lot to share with you. But again, after, as I said, in 2022, we were tearing it up. We also hosted and did the marketing and sales enablement for the biggest New Year's Eve event of 2022 using the same strategy, which is mega communities. And we applied it to different sectors, even to the likes of something like a Quasar Central, which is currently the fastest growing Gen Z production company. That's generated over 100 million views in less than 12 months with zero spend on advertising. But anyway, I digress. So last year, the consultancy and agency was just killing it. And quite simply, we stumbled upon, as I said, this core concept. And it wasn't a paid ads trick. It wasn't a secret funnel. It wasn't posting just on social media and doing this certain short form content with a certain specific hashtag. And it wasn't having the best salespeople involved in the process. It was about building an infrastructure that was undeniably so firm and solid that could create ripple effects and quadruple without you even having to think about it. Especially if you're a company that is at least generating $1 million plus per year, this is a no-brainer if you've been stagnant. This is an absolute no-brainer. And this is the difference between, an Apple and Amazon, or even, to take it to food, like, or even a car company like a Tesla, or the difference even between personal brands like an Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Kim Kardashian, and, the average influencer that might be on YouTube. This is the difference, and I'm going to show you what the difference is. So first of all, we need to align ourselves, and we need to define what is a mega community. So to define what a mega community is, we need to define what a community is. So a community, as it says here by Google's definition, is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. Alternatively, it is the condition of sharing or having certain attitudes and interests in common. Great. So we agree there. Makes sense. Now, what is a mega community? We've coined this term. A mega community is an enormous group of individuals gathered digitally and physically on planet Earth with a common interest in a concept, vision, idea, or feeling. So what are some examples in which we can see this idea of mega communities coming into fruition? So let's look at different industries real quick. E-com and retail. Target has a mega community. A mega community, right? There's what was that thing? Something from Target. There was like, what was Ryan from Target? Alex from Target? Alex from Target. Yeah, so there was an association to a person that was then reflected in meme culture, that was reflected in social media, and that also obviously probably helped Target's stock price also go up in addition to that. Another example of an e-com or retail brand that's built a community is Walmart and Amazon, right? Amazonians is a term, right? Walmart, there's people that will do pranks there. You got the Nelk Boys on YouTube. You got other YouTube pranksters that will use Walmart as a punching bag. But it being perceived as a punching bag generates so much revenue and attention to it in the United States. Let's bring it to HVAC, right? LG Electronics has a community. Daikin has a community. It's been around for ages. Goodman has a community. Vodafone and tech and telco definitely has a community. Telstra definitely has a community. Who do people say are the best providers? Is it Vodafone or you Telstra? There's that debate going on there. Let's bring it to personal brands. Elon Musk is basically, with his name, invented Tesla. With his name, he's basically invented electronic cars. Bring it over to the more younger audience. Look at KSI and Logan Paul. They themselves made Prime so big. Have you noticed that you don't really get a Prime ad on your Facebook or Instagram feed? It's association bias. They built a huge mega community. Rihanna and Fenty. Rihanna is a billionaire under the age of 40. And that's because her personal brand is so big and she was able to leverage that, plus her music career, plus advertising, plus a variety of other factors that consolidated a mega community. But the trend that you're already starting to see is it's not just that someone was good at a Facebook ad or a Google ad or a funnel. There was a community there. Now to sports, NBA, NFL, Cristiano Ronaldo, let me zoom in here, has over 600 million followers on Instagram. That is more than all the accumulative teams in the EPL, European Premier League. One man, right? Again, he understands the power of mega community. Bring it to finance, DeFi, crypto, and tech. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Stake, the trading stock platform. All of these guys understand undoubtedly how to build massive communities. Hospitality and food, Macca's, KFC, huge communities, generational communities, right? Bring it to healthcare. Now, obviously each of their own from a political standpoint, but Pfizer arguably built a huge community in 2020. Right? AstraZeneca arguably built a huge community in 2020 as well, right? Right? So mega communities are how brands stand the test of time. Look at agriculture, Cargill, ADM, huge names that have built mega communities. Property, Zillow, Ray White of here in Australia. Zillow, the SaaS platform that helps realtors around the world. Guys, these guys understood the power of mega communities. Now, what does a mega community breakdown look like in a 12-month period? So I'm going to reveal to you here exactly what it looks like in a very succinct way. So phase one of building a mega community, let me zoom in for you guys actually, why not, is what we call the soil. right? So that's where you want to have a complete and utter understanding of your target market. What do they look like? What do they laugh at? What are their pain points? What are they struggling with? And then the second part of that is where a lot of, to be honest, big companies that are even doing up to 10 million plus a year mess up significantly, is to have a brand ambassador. Now, a brand ambassador is someone that represents and encapsulates the qualities of your target market at an exacerbated or exaggerated level, right? So, for example, Prime with Logan Paul. Logan Paul has been the quintessential Gen Z, where he's done everything from YouTube to Vine to boxing, now to WWE wrestling, and now boxing. And him and his brother Jake Paul have made boxing mainstream. You see, what Prime did was they got two big YouTubers that already had names, that were maybe already doing music, already had their brands, and they now collaborated. Both of these YouTubers now turned boxers and associated it with a new drink that's competing with huge players like Gatorade. So they built relationships with the correct brand ambassadors. Phase number 3, or step 3 in phase 1 for the soil, is core offer development. Now, where a lot of people fall over here is they think, okay, let's just say I'm a car company. We sell this car with these wheels, and this is the model. We have 10 models, and we iterate them, year after year with one new model releasing. But what if you had a variety of core offers that were going to add and furnish the car? Okay, so we've also got these different types of wheels. We've got these different kinds of leather on each seat. We've got these different kinds of rims. We've got these different kinds of rugs that you can use to clean your shoes to step into the car. We've got these different types of antennas. We've got these different types of televisions that are going to come within the car. We've got this different kind of motion where the door opens. A lot of brands become so loyal to what they were formerly known for, instead of allowing themselves to expand their discography of products and offers. So what you need to do is you also need to master a variety of different offers, of core offers, and then allow them to delineate. So for example, let's just say you're in HVAC and you're a roofing. Let's even take it away from HVAC. Let's just say you're a product company and you sell drinks. You want to be able to master, okay, you have a health drink for people that, want to be health conscious. Then you have a sports drink. And then after that, you have, perhaps liquor. And then you have a beer or a non-alcoholic drink that also imitates what an alcoholic drink would feel like. And so people can address their social issues there, etc. You need to master core offers, but you can only do that by, first of all, having an extremely intricate understanding of your target market, making sure that people can identify with the certain brand ambassadors that embrace those qualities, and then having core offers that complement the first 2 steps. Most people do a little bit of this and go straight into this. You have not done enough work. You don't have a solid enough understanding. Therefore, your soil is not healthy. So that's the building phase, right? And that all adds into the storyline development. And I'm going to explain to you why that's really, really crucial in a second. But in order to influence anyone, in fact, the reason why you're on this video is because you bought in to the narrative or to the potential story that was approached to you by the Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, whichever video you watched this ad, and it made you curious. Stories provide permission into the subconscious. Let me repeat that. Stories create and provide permission into the subconscious. If you're just speaking with straight logistics or facts, then you have immediately spoken to someone's brain instead of their emotions. You need to go into the subconscious by telling a story, right? So that's phase number 1. Phase number 2 is what we call the roots. This is now where your storyline development that blends the 3, the brand ambassador, the core offer, the target market, is now exemplified and distributed across a variety of platforms. And I mean as many platforms as possible. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean you're posting on Facebook and Instagram 3 times a week. It doesn't mean that you post on LinkedIn 1 time a month. It doesn't mean that you have someone or a daughter or an in-house or a uni student that you've hired or someone overseas that you've hired in Pakistan, India, Philippines, whatever, that's posting on TikTok once a week because you heard TikTok's really good and the algorithm's confusing. No. What this means is nearly every single day you are on as many platforms as possible. And I'm going to show you through the example of Quasar Central why this is absolutely key. Phase and part number 2 of the phase 2 is omni-channel top of funnel media buying. What this means is Now that you've got the foundation from an organic standpoint set up, you now want to push traffic through these multiple channels. So, for example, you're going to be wanting to run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, Snapchat ads, Bing ads. There are so many platforms that you can explore. But if you don't have the foundation solid, then there is no point running ads straight away because your cost per acquisition, your lead cost, your cost per sale will be too high. Now, I'll give you an example. Imagine you own Facebook and you're Mark Zuckerberg, right? You're Zuck. Are you going to incentivize the person that, one, just spends money on Facebook ads, or are you going to be more incentivized to drop the lead costs by the person that, two, runs Facebook and Instagram ads and posts on the platform 6 times per week at least? Obviously, he's going to incentivize the person that does the second. That is why platforms or pages or businesses that post once a day at the bare minimum oftentimes are going to have cheaper lead costs, cheaper costs per sale, cheaper costs per acquisitions compared to the platform that is just running ads on the platform. Right? So you must master the roots. You've done the soil, great work. You have all the assets. Now you have to pour enough water on it every single day so you can grow and sprout flowers. Makes sense? So once you have these two covered, now you push it to what's called a story-based VSL. A VSL in marketing is what's called a video sales letter. This allows you to be positioned as the authority in your space. Right? It's incredible how powerful a VSL can be because it allows people to see and watch a video that is maybe 5 to 25 minutes long explaining what you do, why it makes sense, why your story is the story that they should buy into, and it now allows you to start collecting data from people that at one point never heard of you before, right? So that's phase 2. Now let me quickly touch on brand domination, right? CNN on TikTok has 955.7 million organic related searches. Jubilee in the United States, which is like a Gen Z kind of human experience channel, has generated over 130 million views on TikTok. Jubilee's been around for Jubilee Media. When did it start? Check this out. It's going to blow your mind. So Jubilee started in 2010, right, by a guy called Jason Lee. Now, Quasar Central, which is, as I said, Australia's largest Gen Z production company, fastest growing, they're a partner of our consultancy. They've been around for just over 12 months. Look at their TikTok volume with 0 advertising. Over 133 million organic searches have come as a result of using the mega community method. When you cross-check that or compare it with Jubilee, we are virtually neck and neck with Jubilee. After being on YouTube for, check this out, we've been on YouTube since the 3rd of September 2022. Organic. Completely organic. This is the power of being omnipresent and omni-channel. What people don't know about Quasar is that Quasar posts up to 30 pieces of content per day. Per day. On Rumble, on Reddit, on Quora, on, of course, all the social media platforms that you can think of logically. Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We have like 4 accounts on YouTube and 4 accounts on TikTok, some of them in different languages, right? This is what the big dogs get correct. They make sure they pop every single internet bubble so they are so easily found, no matter if you're interested in them or not. So that's phase 2, brand domination. Now, when you begin to run ads, that's when things can get exciting because you've laid such a firm foundation on your soil. Now, let's move to phase 3, the sprouts, right? So this is where things get very specific and tactical. And again, where a lot of people drop the ball. Quarterly in-person events, plus fortnightly online events and partnerships, right? So I'll give you an example of this. So we work with a brand called Culture Club Australia. Instagram, check this out, right? So we work with these guys. and we do their marketing, we do their paid ads, etc. Great brand, fantastic brand. It's incredible, right? They do an event, or we help them run an event once every few months. Their ethos and their idea, again, thinking of the mega community term that we defined, where people buy into an idea, feeling, concept, etc. Their idea is for us, by us, where they basically bring up younger creatives in Australia, and they basically give them a platform to perform, have fun, and show what they're about, right? So it's for us, by us, for the community. That's the kind of vibe, right? So that's what we do. We help them generate customer online sales so they can come to their events once every few months. Now, there was this big brand called Paraisio. Paraisio was, as I said, Australia's largest New Year's Eve event in 2022 or slash 2023. Now, they gave us the role of managing Facebook ads, Instagram ads, content creation when it came to the TikTok content, etc., EDM sequences, TikTok account manager, etc. We said, yeah, all good. But the mega community aspect is really what was the driver here. So what did they do? First of all, they said the goal was to sell 1,000 tickets at a really luxurious venue, right? Called Track in Melbourne, in Toorak, which is one of the most expensive areas in all of Melbourne, Australia. We had to sell out 1,000 tickets in a very competitive time of the year, right? So what they did was they did a blend of obviously traditional marketing, obviously posting online very frequently, but they also did partnerships. So what did Paraisio do? They partnered up with 6 different brands in Melbourne, Australia. Culture being one of them, another few that I'm not going to mention out of confidentiality, but it ended up being 6 brands coming together under the umbrella called Paraisio, right? Paraisio, now with the blended effect of partnerships, the blended effect of being super active on organic and then paid traffic, led to over or between 66 to 100,000 tickets being sold. 66 to over 100,000 tickets being sold based on the idea of Paraisio, because 6 people came together, bought into an idea under an umbrella, they ran a bunch of traffic to it, boom. And over 1,000 tickets, or around 1,000 tickets, were sold over 800 were done on Eventbrite specifically. And I think an additional 400 to 550 were sold online, because it's an event, there's online tickets, and then people that walk in. This was a screenshot of just the online Eventbrite tickets. Insane stuff, right? So this is, again, guys, why you need to understand when you're building a mega community, you need each foundation. Otherwise, you're just going to get very typical results like many other corporations, where they hire a marketing exec, or they hire a CEO or a CMO, and they're good at finding the quote unquote talent, right? The marketing talent overseas that's going to do the job at a decent level, but they're not able to think big enough from an end-to-end perspective on how can we make sure that this company actually is going to grow and hit its quota consistently by leveraging the duplicative power of a mega community. Now, what these two will funnel into is a weekly Facebook Live with the brand ambassadors. So if I swing it back to Quasar Central, I'm going to give you some free game here, right? Like, this is super high level stuff from a brand that went from 0 to over 133 million organic TikTok views with 0 ads, okay? People wonder, how did we grow from 0 to that number so quickly? Well, what we did, if you look at the YouTube channel, we realized, okay, this was a blue ocean. The concept wasn't done in Australia before. How can we help this brand in a partnership sense grow together? What we did was we understood the power of notable faces in each city. So instead of just doubling down and focusing on Australia at large or Melbourne where the brand started, we said, no, what we want to do is we want to go out there, headhunt, partner, and work with every single influencer of all sizes in Melbourne, Sydney, and the Gold Coast. Why stay dormant? After we did that, for a period of 1 to 2 months, we were getting faces like Diaco, who was, a very funny character in that episode, and other faces that were participating in other seasons, to hop on TikTok lives with one of the team members at Quasar Central. What this now did was it familiarized people not just with YouTube videos, but it now allowed them to break that barrier between, wow, I feel like I'm really starting to get to know who this guy is, his quirks, maybe where he's insecure. It became more of a relatable thing. The reason why you must do this when building a mega community, having weekly lives with brand ambassadors, is because you want to break that barrier between corporate entity and buyer, corporate entity and consumer. You need to dissolve that middle and create that bridge. That is why you'll need to do a weekly Facebook Live with a brand ambassador, preferably where there's Q&As involved. This now allows for feedback and iteration that's going to circle back to the soil and the roots. Because if the feedback and iteration is strong, you can now further add information to the target market breakdown, further add more brand ambassadors that are more aligned, further iron out your core offer development, which what feeds back into the storyline, which then when gets touched up and recrafted on the brand domination across different platforms, and then the ads being run to it, it now makes your story video sales letter that much more positioned and that much more authoritative. You must make sure that you're investing into the right brand ambassadors so you can effectively hold weekly Facebook lives or YouTube lives or TikTok lives with your brand ambassadors, right? Now, phase 4, stick with me. I know it's a long call, but it's a lot of value. I hope you guys are sticking around for this. If you're sticking around for this, I'm very proud of you because that means you're probably serious about growing your brand. In fact, I hope people have left this call because I don't want even the people that don't even stick around to the end to even sign up or hit the call now button or schedule a call with us, because again, we only want to work with people that are really serious and are able to understand this end-to-end concept and see the value in it. Phase 4 is what we call the flowers, right? So you've watered the soil, you've got the roots, you've got the sprouts. Now it's time for you to get the flowers, right? So this is where you're now running omni-channel traffic. So you've done the top of funnel stuff where, people are getting introduced to you for the first time. They're getting introduced to your brand ambassadors. They're aware of your story in a video format. They're aware of who's associated with you. Now we can start to make the content more focused on, all right, I want to know a bit more about what do you guys actually sell? How do you sell it? What does this mean to me? Right? So this is what's called middle of funnel. So if I'm to go to a case study, Adekunle Gold. So I'll give you an example here. So Adekunle Gold is an Afrobeat celebrity, right? He already had the top of funnel because people know who he is. Afrobeats is one of the most popular music genres right now. It's huge. So the top of funnel for the most part was done. The bit of the top of funnel was introducing people to the fact that he's coming to Australia. Now, RAK Live, which is the touring company, they instructed us with the same tasks. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat ads, Google ads. And we said, yeah, we understand all that marketing stuff, but the power of mega communities, right? So they had promoters. We already talked about the partnership stuff. That was already going on. I'm not going to go into this for this example. What I will go into, though, is the power of middle of funnel and bottom of funnel strategies. So their objective with us was to make sure we could sell out 4 venues. Sell out Billboard, Metro City Concert, Bridgeway Hotel, Metro Theatre, right? That's his account. It's at 9.5 million followers now. We only had 6 to 7 weeks when they came to us at Clientele Boosters Consulting to do this. Now, we were fortunate to generate over $100,000, $120,000 in ticket sales across all 4 cities. And the reason for that was not just because we did the Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, and Google ads well. It's because the top of funnel was already established. What did I say in phase 2? The brand ambassador needs to be able to be pushed on the organic stuff and also with the paid ads. Because the brand ambassador for the touring agency, which was obviously based on his performances, was already established, the introduction was done. By the time the partnerships were involved, by the time the personalized videos were involved, by the time the traffic was being run to it from a variety of angles, it was a matter of us just pushing the fact that, hey, he's going to be here, here, and here. You got to come check this out. Buy now. We could ask for the purchase because he was already introduced, leading to such an astronomical result in less than 6 weeks on a tiny ads budget. $4,000 turned into that kind of result. That can only happen when the top of funnel is already done. Make sense? So Omnichannel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel explains that. Omnichannel retargeting. So now that you've got the soil and the roots and the sprouts, you can now retarget everyone that has ever given you an email, everyone that's ever been interested in you at any point in the journey, and anyone that has expressed any kind of liking towards what you do because they're part of your mega community. They're fully informed about who you are. They've been nurtured. They've been loved. When you're going on a date, are you going to propose on the first date? Absolutely not. She'll slap you in the face, or he'll slap you in the face. Maybe not. But what will happen is you'll go on a first date, you go on a series of dates, you'll introduce that partner of yours probably to your parents. There'll be a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 of more dating, more serious dating, you'll get engaged, you get married. But if you start the relationship off by proposing, it completely ruins the interaction. That's what most big companies do. They think because they have such a big, significant name physically, but not digitally, they can make huge online asks. Now, in a lot of cases, yes, you can, but also in many cases, no, you cannot. Everyone is vying for attention in 2023. It is up to you to reintroduce yourself digitally and then reaccumulate all that attention by building a mega community and then asking for the ask. As a Gary Vee will say, give, ask. Give, give, ask. Right? Over time, in perpetuity, that will lessen and lessen and lessen. Now, that will all feed into the brand product distribution. Again, when we look at that example with Logan Paul and KSI or Rihanna, it's the perfect example of brand product distribution. Have a massive brand, right? As a result of building a mega community, you can now use that as leverage to completely just do ridiculous numbers and become potentially a billionaire like Rihanna and on his way to a billionaire like Logan, right? So there's really no other way to create a generational company that's going to stand the test of time and survive, whether it's an inflation or a recession, unless you master these things at the very least. And you're looking at least a minimum of 10 to 20% in additional annual recurring revenue growth by using like this tactic over a period of even just 12 months. Now, I revealed a lot today. There is more that I can reveal for businesses that are doing $1 million to $5 million in annual recurring revenue per year or more. And it's going to not just take you from an extra 10 to 20% in ARR growth, but I'm talking an extra 15 to 1,000% in annual recurring revenue growth. I'm talking about an additional 150 to 150K to $50 million. And I'm talking about minimum, depending on how big your company is. But if this was of interest to you and you'd like to learn more either about phase 4 or you'd like to learn how you can integrate phase 1 to phase 4 succinctly, and I'm talking about you can set up everything you would need to successfully create a mega community in less than 4 weeks, making sure that the soil is ready to go in less than 4 weeks. And I'm talking by month 2 at the very latest, the roots are already starting to grow. If you want to learn how to do that, or you want help doing that because you're time poor, or you're looking to hire a CMO, or you're looking to hire an advertising agency that, to be honest, is just going to do this, but not everything else, like the in-person events, the partnerships, the retargeting, the core offer development, the relationship building and headhunting with brand ambassadors. To be honest with you, one of the partnerships we'd give you off rip is Quasar Central. We'd give you access to every single Gen Z, millennial, or Gen Alpha, which is now one of the youngest generations in the world, that's ever appeared in any episodes. And we'd give you that partnership access to us if that was necessary for your business. But anyway, I digress. If you think you need to build a mega community and that's going to help you scale your company, whether it is in e-com, HVAC, tech, telco, personal brand, sports, finance, hospitality, healthcare, agriculture, property, we will personally design an end-to-end strategy involving all of these phases for completely free. Only if you are a business doing at least $1 million plus per year in annual recurring revenue. In some cases, if you're doing $500,000 in revenue per year plus, then we can help out. But to be honest, you probably won't be able to afford our services. We're very good at what we do. You don't generate $100,000 in less than 30 days, or in this situation, in 6 weeks or less, without being exceptionally good at creating one of these mega communities. And you don't also generate over 100 million views in less than 12 months without knowing exactly how to deploy this correctly, especially when it involves going to different parts of different countries, deploying and understanding the right humans to hire and the right people and team to assemble. But if you do think that this can help you, it's simple. Click that button below. You'll speak to either myself or one of our consultants. If we feel like you'll be a good fit, then we'll progress the conversation. We'll draw up a roadmap for you over 12 months or 6 months on how we can build the first phases of your mega community for you. And we're going to make you some serious money, but not just that. Make sure that you're even going to bed more fulfilled, because you are now helping other people around the world. You are making the workplace more exciting. You're building something, not just making money. And that's another massive perk of a mega community. You're able to do this with thousands. And if you get to Quasar's level, hundreds of millions or over 100 million people that are going to buy into your concept, vision, idea, or feeling. If that makes sense to you, click the button below. I'm Dami Okudara. It was lovely to chat with you today, and we will speak to you soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.